We may get confused a few times between skyscrapers and Space Needle, as they both almost look similar given the structure of a tower, but they are not. Space Needle is the 605-foot-high tower that was built to attract the public at the 1962 World's Fair. It is also included as a Wonders of the World. It is generally an attraction spot for tourists located in Washington, United States, which contains a sky restaurant, a sky-based retail shop, etc. It is an observation deck. We know that you are all aware of all this information and we do not want to bore you with it. So, today we are going to see some interesting and quirky facts about the Space Needle that you have not heard before. So grab all the snacks you have, sit back comfortably, and stay tuned to the end. And you all already know that this video is going to be an eye-catcher for you all, as the topic itself is very interesting. So before moving further with the video, we want you all to go and like this video. Go ahead, hurry up, we're waiting. Stop looking at the screen because we are not moving further until you give it a thumbs up. I guess you all have done your part of the job, and now we can dive right into the video. Fact number 1. The original name of the Space Needle was Space Cage, but it was later changed because the chief organizer of the World Fair, who was Edward E. Carlson, once while he was sitting in a cafe got inspired by a transmit tower focusing a restaurant in Germany, and he drew a picture of the tower on a hotel napkin and called it Space Needle. Fact number 2. This whole Space Needle was built only in 400 days, although they had to go under renovation later on. The project was started on April 17, 1961, and was done by December 8, 1961. The wheels of this Space Needle are turning using a 1.5 HP motor. This technique was adopted by the railroad. Fact number 3. Another interesting point to look at about these Space Needles is the installation of the elevators, which was installed back in 1993 and weighs 14,000 pounds. That can carry the weight of up to 4,500 pounds. There is a total of 7 cables attached to it just for safety purposes. But truly, these elevators that touch down are the best functioning elevators ever, as they were installed way back in 1993. Fact number 4. They had to invest $4.5 million to complete this whole construction back in 1962. And after a complete renovation, they had spent $100 million. What do you think? Is the Space Needle worth the money they spent? Comment down below and let us know your views on this. Now, moving on. Fact number 5. This Space Needle was once in controversy back in December 31st, 1999, when a high-powered beam of light was aired at the peak of the Space Needle to show its respect on national holidays and special occasions. It became controversial because the light which was coming out of it created pollution. Fact number 6. We all know that on top of the Space Needle, there was a sky restaurant which gave a complete 360-degree of beautiful outside view to the public sitting over there, but did you all know that it is permanently closed now and the public cannot enter that restaurant anymore? Initially, there were 2 restaurants open, the names of which were the Eyes of the Needle and the Emerald Suites. But at the time in 2000, while it was under renovation, they closed 2 restaurants. And now instead of these restaurants on April 9, 2021, they opened a cocktail lounge called Lupe Lounge. Fact number 7. The owner also got offers to sell its Space Needle. A businessman came from the city of Fife, Washington, which is nearby to the south of Seattle, to offer his interest in buying the Space Needle, and he offered only $1 million to the owner, which was a quarter less than the original price. And of course, the owner declined to accept his offer for 2 reasons. The first being that he wanted the Space Needle to be situated only in Emerald City, and the second, as we know that the offer which came was less than the original cost. Fact number 8. A very interesting and unique fact that we have researched and brought to you guys' attention is that during hot days, the tower expands about an inch. Do you think all these facts are interesting? Then you should watch this video to the end to learn more about such unusual truths. Fact number 9. A joke that took a bad turn. A local radio in a comedy show called Almost Live back in 1998, April Fool's Day, decided to fool the public by spreading the word that the Space Needle had fallen down, and they also followed it with fake pictures of it. Everyone in the city panicked. A few made phone calls to the tower, and a few others called 911. Later, the news got clarified, and they even apologized to the public as well as to the owners of the Space Needle. Fact number 10. We all know that the height of this Space Needle is 605 feet. But did you know that this tower has a foundation beneath it? It is 30 feet beneath, and it elongates to the streets of Seattle. The needle is only 30 feet long. The center of gravity in this tower is above 5 feet from the Earth. Fact number 11. The shape of this Space Needle was originally something else. While the construction of this tower has begun, the name Edward E. Colson was a very famous businessman who used to design such attractive towers. The Emerald City has immersed trust in its designs, and so the original shape which Edward thought of giving the Space Needle was similar to a colossal balloon, which would be tied to the ground. John Graham, who was an architect, gave a suggestion that could bring this project back to its life, which was by introducing a flying saucer image that can inform us that the Space Needle had been finished. Fact number 12. Even though everything like the design and the investors were already set, it became very hard to find a perfect land to construct this Space Needle. Finding land for private use was the only big hurdle that prevented the process from starting. But still, they did not lose hope, and were searching hard until they found a perfect land of 120 feet, which also granted them the permission to build this tower. The search for the land itself required the payment of about $75,000. Fact number 13. Along with the Space Needles revealed at the World Fair, they also included a 538 bell copying a chime sound, or with the sound of a pearl set of bells ringing glockenspiel music, and they played this music multiple times in a day. Though the speaker that was installed at the top of the tower, it was audible to everyone within 10-mile radius. But later, it was surpassed by New York's World Fair by a 732 bell version. Fact number 14. Despite the many fun activities which the tower has got to offer, but still few people wanted to do something above it, and for which they decided to illegally use the tower to jump. Luckily, 2 people have landed safely. Further, in 1996, the Emerald City has decided to legally send 4 more people for a base jump using a parachute from a height of 520 feet mark, but unluckily, it resulted in the fracture of one of those 4 persons' vertebrae. Fact number 15. It was not cleaned for many years. Under the observation of Alfred Croucher, GmbH and Company, KG, the first time cleaning of this Space Needle took place in May of 2008. As it was after so many years, so the work pressure was so much that they had to properly scrub the surface by using water pressure of 2,900 pounds per square inch with an accurate temperature of the water, which was used 194 degrees Fahrenheit. Bonus facts just for you all. A lucky visitor, Greg Nova, who was the 45th millionth visitor to the Space Needle, got the lucky opportunity to go on a trip to Paris where the VIP dinner at the Eiffel Tower. The Space Needle did not have the official landmark title until its 37th birthday, which was April 21st, 1999. The Space Needle was not originally of a single color. Originally, it had different colors like Galaxy Gold, Re-entry Red, Orbital Olive, and Astronaut White. The manager of this tower, Hugh Sullivan, was also afraid of towers. He had aeropophobia. Even the Beatles, when they visited the Space Needle, they were also afraid of heights. A cartoon designer, Awo Takamoto, took inspiration from this tower to create that futuristic family skypad apartment. When the World Fair happened in 1962, then this tower was only $1 to the visitor. So that was all for today's video, and we are pretty sure that we did not disappoint you. And before leaving the channel, we want you all to check out our other videos. And if you like them all, do not forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Until next time, stay safe.